Hey guys, I wanted to explain to you what you can do for stem rot or root rot on your succulents. It's just something that happens to these guys once in a while. It's not fun. First I want to start off, I got a couple here. I want to start off by showing you my crassula because I came out this morning. He was sitting in a tray that I really kind of been neglecting, and he started to rot on me. So you can see there are no roots, no healthy roots, I should say, on it. The stem's really soft and squishy. You'll know if your stem's rotten because it will just do that and fall apart. Now this came off by itself, this piece, and then these were stuck on there, and of course these are rotted. So you want to get all that rot off. Now, where I cut this head off of this piece right there, and all I did was took a clean blade that's sterilized in some alcohol. Make sure it's nice and sharp so you get a nice clean cut in there, and go straight down. Now you want to go straight down to where the point you don't see any more rot in there. And the reason being is because if you even get a little bit of that brown rot in this head when you're cutting it, you're going to find out that this will just rot out on you in the long run. So give that rot a good snip off. Make sure none of it's left on there. Let it dry out on a counter or tray for 24 hours. Let it get a good scab. Then you can put it in some dry soil. Now, I don't water my succulents without roots until, I see roots starting to show, because whatever water is sitting in that soil, the succulent will be trying to take up. So, that succulent don't have any roots right now, so you don't want any water. My motto, no roots, no water. I love saying that. It's great. It's great to remember. It keeps all my succulents healthy. And I am an overwaterer. I water all the time. I love to water. It's a problem of mine. I know many of you can relate to it. Just back off on the watering. If you notice your succulents are rotting and you have to fix a few like this one, just back off on that watering a little bit. Especially if it's really humid in the air. Any humidity in the air is going to keep that soil moist. So those succulents, like I said, they suck up anything in that soil if they have roots on them. Without roots, they'll just be sitting in the soil, wet soil, and, it just rots them out in the long run. So this Echeveria I cut about 2 weeks ago. Now, I was starting to get a lot of rot on the bottom. The leaves right here, you can see what they started to look like at first. I thought it was underwatering. Underwatering can look very similar to overwatering. And one of the ways I can tell that it's overwatered is, you can kind of see it's ready to, just explode. It's mushy. It's really yellow. It's starting to get yellow. And as it goes up and gets worse, it'll start looking like this. Oh, no. We don't like that. I don't like that. But it can be fixed, and it can be fixed very easily. All you want to do is take your succulent, whichever one you might have that you're fixing, inspect the roots. Make sure, all them rotten roots are off. Anything that's not going to be taking water up, anything that looks rotten like that, which you're going to be able to tell. I mean, you can tell a rotten stem from, a nice clean looking one. So that's the difference. You want to make sure you have all that green on there and no brown. And once you cut that off, now this one is going to take about 5 or 6 days to fully callus over after you make that cut. Just go straight down with sterilized blade and you'll be fine. Just get rid of all that rot on there. Once you get rid of that rot, let it sit on the counter for 6 days. Now, I let this sit on the counter for 6 days because it's so much bigger than that little guy. That's going to callus in a day. This is going to take the 5 or 6, 7 days. It depends. I mean, the thicker the stem, the longer it takes to callus over and scab over. Once you have your nice scab and there's nothing exposed, no fresh cut exposed, usually I don't water this. Now, I watered this yesterday because I started seeing roots. I noticed she was pushing out some nice roots, as you can see. I'm so happy she came back. I thought I was going to lose her totally, guys. I mean, she looks pretty horrible, and she looks a hell of a lot better than she did, a week ago. So just don't be scared. Get in there, do it, fix them, don't throw them away. Get it in some dry soil, and just don't spray until you see roots. That's all you need to remember after you're cutting your succulents, or even if you're propagating succulents and you gotten clippings from somebody. Whatever plants you have without roots, just don't water until you see some roots starting to show. Now, one of the reasons I don't like pulling this out to check the roots is because it can damage any new roots that are starting to form on there. And they can be really gentle at this stage, especially when you're getting, 1 or 2 roots like this one has. So just don't keep pulling it out. That's the best advice I can give you. Once you have it in your dry soil, let it stay in the dry soil for 2 weeks almost. After 2 weeks, roots, you know that they're going to be on there for sure. So then you can start giving it just a tiny bit of water. You don't want to soak this whole pot all the way through, because you've seen the root system on her, and she really doesn't have much of a root system. So I don't want her to be sitting in all that water in this whole container. It's just going to rot. She can't take up that much water yet, not with the root system on her. So just remember, guys, you can fix your rotted succulents. If you start getting the yellowing, you're overwatering and something's going on. So you want to check your succulents or plants. Make sure they're happy and healthy. Back off on the watering if you're in high humidity area and you notice your soil staying wet for too long. Back off on watering a little bit. And that's just a little tip on watering in general I wanted to give you. Because I know it can be really hard in this humidity to keep your plants healthy. I'm struggling like crazy with a lot of mine that are just sensitive to the air and the climate around them. After you get your echeveria in there, she'll start growing roots and you guys will be good to go. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope I inspired you to not give up and keep on planting. Succulents are so hardy. They can go weeks and weeks and months without water sometimes. So, just back off on the watering. That's the big thing with rot, guys. Do not water until you see roots. I know I say that a lot, but it is so important. And drainage. Drainage is key. Make sure, you can use any container. I use just anything I have. Just make sure you have some holes in the bottom. Make sure you got some drainage. And your succulents will be fine. Now, I plant all my succulents in a 50% cactus mix and a 50% perlite mix. And they seem to love it here. They don't get overwatered. They don't get neglected on water. It's kind of a happy medium for them. Especially in Florida in this climate here. It's just so crazy with the rain and then the hot and dry climates, and it's just crazy. So keep on planting. I love doing this for you guys. I really hope that helped you and inspired you to keep on growing. Have a good day. Until next time. Bye-bye.